So we won't launch a car that's cheaper than the ET5. No, we won't. The ET5 is our brand's entry-level car moving forward. The ET5 and ET5. So the entire brand has to shift a little upwards. This is a strategic direction for our brand's future. Otherwise, competing on price with the ET5 will be difficult. If your price drops, you definitely won't be able to raise it. But if you lower your price, many things won't align with the brand's positioning. An NIO product itself, everyone knows about the unseen aspects, the quality materials, and they're quite expensive. We also have many requirements like standard dual motors, standard LiDAR, many sensors, and computational power. So these things are fundamentally important to maintain high-end product and situation of the brand in this era of smart electric cars.
Actually, the fundamental foundation of NIO is technology. Originally, everyone thinks NIO is all about good service when they hear it, but actually technology is the fundamental foundation of NIO.
We will strengthen our communication with them in the future.
So we have recently installed the NOMI GPT on all our cars. I watched the college entrance exams yesterday, and the essays NOMI GPT wrote were very good, better than mine.
If I chat with NOMI now, there will be no problem chatting for an hour or even a day.
And the conversation never gets boring.
These are indeed the significant changes AI has brought to cars. Cars have indeed become a manufacturing force for technological innovation once again. All of the cutting-edge technologies we care about today, the latest application products are certainly here. Ultimately, these technologies must reflect in the competitiveness of our products.
This is reflected in our product's competitiveness, such as our newly released Onvo L. Xiaomi's Leilin always said that it would take about 3 years to achieve energy efficiency like Tesla.
We have already achieved this. Our L60 is larger than the Model Y, with more internal space, better performance, and increased range with lower energy consumption. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. All of these bits and pieces from this comprehensive technological development can be combined to achieve such competitiveness. So the final product's competitiveness still stems from technology. Without technology supporting the competition of the products, it's impossible to achieve this.
We invite everyone to follow our progress with Lidl Onvo.
Solve the problem of battery life, hope for industry-wide relationships. Today's batteries warranties are all 8 years and 160,000 kilometers, and most small businesses implement this standard. This standard has already been around for a while. From 2016 to now, everyone basically has done it.
Regardless of whether it is an EREV, a pure electric, or a plug-in, it affects everyone.
But there's still a big problem with this. What's the problem? The life of a car exceeds the life of a battery. This is a relatively vital issue. So if we don't pay attention to this issue and don't solve it, let's take a look. Last year, more than 7.3 million new energy vehicles were delivered, and the total from 2016 to now is close to 20 million.
If this problem doesn't get solved, then within 8 years we'll have a total of 20 million cars whose batteries are out of warranty.
So the population has an aging issue, and cars also have an aging issue. If we don't solve this problem and plan ahead for aspects of self-protection and the life of the battery, the cost of solving it later will be huge. The cost of this battery to a single household and the after-sales cost amount to tens of thousands. That adds up to a societal cost pressure of 1 or 2 trillion. So I urge everyone to pay attention to this matter in advance.
Develop long-life batteries for long-term battery warranty. Beyond the warranty, after-sales plans for these batteries should be made in advance.
So all of this was just today, as you can see in the background, June 8th. All right, and this is, of course, NIO CEO talking about the strategy going forward. First, notably, the ET5 will be the most cheapest NIO that you can get in the future. The vehicles for NIO will actually be much more expensive to boost margins, and then the Onvo brand will cover the mass market area. So NIO will be more premium niche, and then Onvo will be for everybody. And even Onvo has healthy margins, so they're not going to run into the problem of having to cut prices for sales volume. Onvo is going to be sales volume mainly, and then NIO is going to be high margin vehicles, premium. And of course, NIO CEO talked about how they're going to use in-house developed chips, etc., to help boost margins and lower cost. Also very interestingly, NIO CEO said how communication is actually a problem. The fact that people don't realize that NIO's technology is amongst the best, right? The fact that Nomi GPT was able to write an essay better than himself, and that you're able to have an hour-long conversation without it getting boring. This isn't fully recognized by everybody. So people are seeing NIO as a service leader in terms of, you buy a NIO, you get great service, but people are not seeing NIO as a technology leader, which is a communication problem. And he said that they will definitely work hard to communicate this well in the future. And then moving on, of course, he also talked about Envo L60. Envo L60 achieving what others deem to be impossible to achieve, such as getting Tesla's energy efficiency, even poking a little bit fun at Xiaomi CEO Ladrin, saying that he said he was going to take 3 years to get that kind of energy efficiency, but we have it today. So this is definitely something quite amazing in terms of the technology that they have, and hopefully this gets a lot more recognition. And of course, they're debuting their latest technology on the Envo L60, and hopefully everybody will realize that Envo has a lot of technology. Now, there was another clip that I couldn't translate because it was kind of off, but in the other clip, NIO CEO was talking about how competitiveness has caused every major auto company to compete and undercut in terms of pricing. However, they don't compete and undercut in terms of technology. All right, so people are coming out of cars that are cheaper, compromise on this, on that. However, they don't come out with a car that has better tech, which is the thing that he really wanted to emphasize. And he said that recently, in the automobile market, people are competing in terms of value, which he thinks is great. Offering better value for the customer is always great, but he still wants people to compete in terms of tech. Who has the best tech, which is something that he wanted to go forward with. And then, of course, in this last clip, he talked about battery problem, the fact that battery, any single car, EV or hybrid sold, will have a battery problem a few years down the line, whereas the car outlasts the battery, and then you have to pay for the battery to replace the battery, which will be a huge, massive expense for everybody. He talked about how the cumulative cost of just replacing these batteries 8 years down the line will be around 2 trillion RMB cumulatively, which is a huge burden for everybody. So it's a very important problem for people to tackle. And of course, with swappable cars, this is no longer a problem. You're able to recycle the batteries well. You're able to change out the degraded cells for healthier cells and maintain the health and longevity of the battery, which is something that he hopes that there's more recognition for. So obviously going forward, as there are more EVs dying, not because of the car, but because the battery is out of warranty, the car's still okay, but the battery's not good and you got to pay a huge amount of money to replace it. That's going to wake everybody up. But he's trying to wake everybody up right now. All right. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.